Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 676. Today we'll be doing battle with Vanessa. And so, apologies for the delays. I've had a bit of sickness amongst myself and the family. It kept me really out of commission ever since the open beta started. And so it was kind of a bummer to really miss out on a lot of content creation time, but it is what it is. Man, I went down hard. Like the literally like the open beta came out and then the sickness just hit me. And like starting on 6 p.m. that Wednesday that the open beta was released, for like 22 hours later, I was either asleep or just evacuating my bowels. And then it was like I woke up at like 4 p.m. the next day, ate some food, kind of like diddled around for a couple of hours, and then just went right back to sleep and slept for another like 8 or 10 hours. But like after all that, I recovered and I felt pretty good. But it's interesting to me how the human body works sometimes. I know that I've like seen this happen before in the past, and I don't know if it's just like the timing of things working out in our life or some kind of like miracle of the human body or something. But like the way the situation went was like the wife got home from work. I said, I do not feel good. Can you handle the baby? And she says yes. And I say, I'm out, like down, out, gone. And so like I'm just completely out for the day and a half. And then like once I'm feeling better, I was like, sweetie, I'm better. I can start managing the baby now. And she's kind of like, are you like 100% sure you can manage the baby? And she says, I was like, yeah, no problem. I'm good. And boom, she was out. Like same thing. She was down for like 18 hours, up for 4, and then down for like another 10. It's interesting the way that the body will just kind of be like, I know that I have to power through this thing. I can't let myself fail right now. And then as soon as it knows it's able to just kind of like break away, it just lets loose and just like pulls the ripcord and you're and you're fucked from that point. I don't know if it's an actual thing. Like I know that I've had the exact same thing happen with my wife in the past in terms of sickness hitting and like your body just holding off until it's okay, until you don't have to like maintain everything, and then as soon as you don't, boom, like you're just fucking there. But that's where we're at. We'll talk about poop a little bit more, I guess, if you want. Evacuating bowels, any kind of BM you want to talk about, we can we can get it in over the course of this video. But no, back to the bazaar. And so we're in the open beta. I've been kind of interested in the start here, where they changed it up. You either get the big income start, the enchanted item start, or the gold tier start. When I initially started kind of like theory crafting about this, I assumed that the gold tier start was just going to be the best one every time. This is just the like the highest impact thing that you can have over any course of the game. It is exceptionally strong in the early game if it coordinates with the items that you find, and then it's still good in the late game. And so if you come out and find something like +9 poison and then you get a poison unit, good, you're off to the races. If you find something like right-handed for +40 damage, any weapon is now good, boom, you're off to the races. But this does have a lot of potential for disaster in the sense that, if you take a poison start or you take a burn start and don't hit, then you just have like absolutely nothing in the early game. You're just getting roasted by everyone that started enchanted item, everyone that started with money and fully filled out their board, everybody that, had something go baseline normal to good just fucking crushes you across the board. And so I did want to come in and start doing, a bit of testing with the small enchanted item. It should say small enchanted item on here. You have to take a small one because the way that I really felt as Vanessa coming out of the previous patch is there's like so much emphasis played on the early game because you're so bad late game, right? Vanessa should really shine, day 1 to day 9. You get into that space of day like 10, 11, and 12, and Pig and Dooley are starting to catch up with their late game scaling. And then like day 13, 14, 15, you need to be like high rolling to get a victory. And so it was ultimately like super important with Vanessa to be winning the early rounds, so you didn't have to play the late rounds. You sacrificed your late game power for that early game strength. But the problem with these enchanted items is so many of them are just so bad that the Vanessa's small item kit is just super strong at whiffing, right? You run into something to where it's like, oh, cool, it's ambergris and cannonball and like shoe blade, right? And they're all, fairly shitty items. So you get stuck taking a cannonball because it's like the best of the mix. But then you go into the first day and you don't find a ammo item, and it's like, now what do, right? You are stuck with this shitty item. You're not winning the combat. Your advantage is just completely dashed. And so I feel like if there was a different kit, or if there was an ability to hit different sized items and you weren't just limited to small, then maybe the enchanted item would be okay. But I've been really hammering home with the gold tier skill out here. And so we'll see how it goes from that. As we come out here with the skills, I have been very impressed with Vanessa Burn in this patch. It's with the kind of double whammy hit to double barrel, in the sense that it does less damage and got bonked. It's not to say that you can't go for strong double barrel builds, but the more mid-gamey stuff feels very important to be doing. And then having some of the new items out of the Vanessa expansion, the worm thing that hastes stuff and gets charged when you burn, strikes me as one of the better items out of the mix. Having things like diving weights out of the new set, tying together with catapults or trebuchets, whatever it's called, that all kind of works nicely. And then the mantis shrimp, whatever the scaling burn off of slow guy is called, works with this kind of thing as well. And so I've been leaning more heavily in on burn this patch than in patches previous. I'm a little tempted to take Immolating Spark, because just even hitting like a Pop Snappers early should be enough to really KO a lot of our opponents. But again, if we miss with this, it's a huge pain point, to where 24% crit is pretty good. It doesn't require any item to actually work, and getting that huge hit can be nice in the later game still, with like swashbuckles or covering the missing part between a your 100% crit with Crow's Nest or whatnot. And so what I think I'm going to do with this, I'm going to pass with Arms Dealer. I think if this was the previous patch, to where double barrel Vanessa was so prevalent, Arms Dealer would just be like the actual fantastic take here, just ensuring that you beat up on all of the other early game Vanessas. But I don't think that's as important this patch with the bonk change. And so what I think is probably the best choice here is actually the Right Eye. I think that the single item builds are still quite strong. Having a one really good item is still quite strong. There's just a lot of stuff that this does, and it never just fails us in the early game. But with this being our first video of the open beta, I want to take the spark and see if we can't get some of these burned concepts coming together here early. And so, good deal. 7.5 minutes in, we took our first skill. Let's get off to the races. And so, first page here, I'm going to go non-weapon items. That feels like a pretty good shop. I want to find an opportunity to find something that burns, and boom, we landed the volcanic vents, another new item out of the open beta. Multicast 3 to shoot up with the burn skills just works perfectly with Immolating Spark, so we'll take it. I'm also okay with Star Chart here. It is very powerful in the early game, making all of our docks, giving us bonus experience, and we should just be good to go on any combat round here for the rest of the day, and probably even into the day afterwards. And so, very interesting pickup here. But moving on, we'll go to Pyro. If we're doing burn stuff, might as well go to the Burn Bro, right? See what we can do. See if we can't pick up another burn skill out here. See how heavy we chase after these burn things. Look at that, just fucking nuking that guy. That feels pretty good, right? That feels pretty good. I haven't gone like full ham this patch in terms of just going complete burn with the volcanic vents. But having starts like that, I feel like we could probably fairly safely just get the volcanic vents going, get it activating as fast as we can, and then just get defensive stuff after that. And so we'll see how that plays itself out. But moving forward, kind of trash around here. We don't have the money for items. We don't have the friend for the experience point in the furry monster, so we'll just take the shield item out of this. And then what do we got out of this next set? Kind of the same deal. We could go to the strange mushroom and pick up the regen, or go to the invest in yourself and pick up the gold. I think it's kind of tough, right? I do want to be good early, but I think this spike of volcanic vents with the Immolating Spark is just going to be super good enough. And so I'm going to play it a little bit greedy, pass on the regen, take the money, and then see if we can't beat up this Vanessa here on day one.
It makes this more fun.
Paying to win, feeling good, feeling good. I'll talk more about it in a more refined video, but I feel like the pay to win nature of the game is kind of grossly exaggerated. It's tough for me in the sense kind of like a high level thing here is I get why people are upset about it. You're not getting the expansion early, right? You're not paying $10 to get the expansion early. The people that are free to play are saying that I'm getting it a month late by not paying, and I get the understanding of that, but. To me, the way that I end up looking at gaming and the way that I end up looking at a lot of these things is, how much money do I get out, or how much entertainment time do I get out of this compared to the amount of money that I spent? And so, if you look at something like Netflix, I don't know what Netflix costs. Like my wife pays for Netflix, but it's like $20 a month, right? But then you watch 2 hours of Netflix a day, so that's 60 hours a month. So you're getting 60 hours of entertainment for $20 or 33 cents an hour of entertainment. Like that's not a particularly bad deal. If you want to say go to a movie, right? A movie probably costs like, I don't know, I've been to like 2 movies since COVID, but you go to the movies, it's like $15 for 2 hours of entertainment. That movie was like $7.50 an hour of entertainment, right? You go to an NFL football game, you pay $200 for 4 hours of entertainment. That was $50 an hour of entertainment, right? And the way that I find myself looking at a lot of these kind of financial situations in video gaming is, I understand if you're, say, like from Brazil, right? That's not a shitty situation that, that you're from Brazil. That's almost what came out. It's like I understand if you're from Brazil and that's shitty. No, that was not the way it means. But in terms of like money and Brazil, like the Brazilian dollar is worth like 10 times less than the American dollar. And so like if you're within the ecosystem of Brazil, everything is like fairly even, right? You pay a percentage of your income. Your income is like this and that. Like it's all plays out the same. But in comparison to the American dollar, it's like 10 times less. And so if a video game comes out in America and it costs $50, it costs like $500 equivalent in Brazil if that's what you have to pay for it. And so like I understand that's like an issue. There's not always a point for that, but for the most part, if you're a free to play gamer, are you just like completely okay with paying $0 per hour of entertainment out of a video game and then like not conceding that video game has to make money at some point? Like I struggle with that a little bit, but I get it. It's unfair to ask someone in Brazil to pay $100 a month to play this video game and get the items, but at what point is someone willing to pay for this, right? If you're in American circumstances playing an American-made video game and you want to, spend money on it, what's that hourly rate that you're willing to pay to where you don't feel like you're getting ripped off? And I feel like with this, I don't know, we've played this game for like 400. I had like 420 hours the other day. I missed like 420.69 hours. It was a real bummer. But I got my huge value for the $30 at the start, and I'll continue to get well worth my money for $10 a month out of this. But if you're not willing to air quote pay to win, like what amount of money are you willing to invest? Like what is the return on dollars to entertainment return that you're willing to spend? And if it's zero, then I don't feel like your opinion really matters. And so I feel like I get that, a lot of Reddit feels like there was a rug pull involved or whatnot. I don't entirely agree with, taking one line of text from a kind of Indiegogo promo reel 5 years ago as being something that should be taken as, a complete literal at this point. But I'll try to talk about it better in another video. But we're here and we're battling, and so I hope you just turned the video off. You said Bust is out here speaking crazy talk. I can't take this guy anymore. But all right, let's get our focus back up with the skills. I took shield. I feel like if we're just going to really hammer in on the aquatic vents here, then we just need to focus on the defensives. After that, rear shielding is always going to be good, especially if we get to stack up like a pearl. And so it's going to work with this. Work with the seashell now just a little bit. With this, we don't have a ton of money. Don't want to go to the furry monster. He just gives out garbage if you don't have a friend, so we'll unfortunately just take the 40 health. And then here, I'm pretty certain we'll just slaughter all of these battles. Nothing is going to give us any items we're really super interested in here at the start, so we'll just take the highest experience round from the get-go. There goes our big burns. Bringing in that good damage. Seems nice. I was just expecting the opponent to just insta-die after the first couple of ticks. You were just supposed to die, and so, it didn't happen, but it's okay. All right, so moving forward, could go to the jungle ruins and pick up. I think the regen is in here, but I do like Kev's armory. If you can come in and spike a high-powered shielded enchanted item early, it's always quite good. Nothing too spectacular in here. I'm leaning towards the life preserver. This is still a pretty decent item for the first 3 or 4 days, and so it should be fine. I'm not huge on barrel this patch. It felt fairly weak in the last patch after it was nerfed, and now with the bonk hit across the board, just fairly hard to activate this thing. And so I looked to lean more onto the smaller items like Seashell instead. So moving on up, we can probably go to the Strange Mushroom here, get the shit, it's the wrong one. It's never the it's never the regen when I want it. I don't know why I can't remember it at this point. All right, though. Nothing too spectacular out of here. Not really looking for ammo items. I guess we could look to ammo to try and dig up a weight belt. We'll certainly want one this game, but it's too RNG heavy there to hit. Let's just take the 2 gold and the bronze tier, get more money out of it, get something that's guaranteed to be useful. Landed it here. Oh, let's put the preserver to the left so that we get the shielding onto the seashell. It's going to activate a bit faster. I think we're ready to go. Up against old Dooley. This is another interesting point to me that I have seen literal 0 complaints about on Reddit in terms of the pay-to-win nature of the game now. In that, why has no one complained about Dooley, right? The sentiment has been so far up to this point that it's not fair that someone can go and purchase Vanessa cards for $10 and I have to wait a month to do it as a free-to-play player. Why has no one complained about the state of Dooley at this point, right? Dooley has literally no expansion possibilities at this point. And so, like, how bad are you supposed to feel in terms of you spent your time or your gems or whatever unlocking Dooley, and now the expansion's released and you don't have access to additional Dooley cards and you're a Dooley main and Vanessa's getting all of the cards at this point? Why aren't you incensed? Like, it's things like that that I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just too old at this point. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm just out here booming with bust out here. Fucking old man going on about stuff he doesn't understand anymore. I don't know. That's at least part of the equation, being able to say that you don't know. All right, let's move on though. Jump into these items, see what turns up. Lighter upgrade, sure thing. I don't hate things like Bolus. I just don't really foresee us using this. I think we're going to really heavily dive in on trying to use things like volcanic vents. It's just in the back of my head. I know that the more late game option is going to be the mantis shrimp. The mantis shrimp cares about slow, and bolus is a fairly decent slow item. And so maybe we just kind of speculated on it at this point. You know, it's a 1 gold loss if we don't want it. That's not a big deal. But if we do want it and don't have it, that's kind of a problem. Now we kind of move in a bit further with that, seeing something like Trebuchet turn up. Like there is actually the minor combo with both Trebuchet and Musket, the burns reloading the Musket being quite strong in this early stage when we only have 400 health and it's going to dome us for 200 as it hits. And so this is where you start to kind of consider maybe pushing away from volcanic vents just a little bit and looking towards some of these other things. I think I'm okay to look towards Trebuchet, and then I probably just want to pick up the Musket as well. So let's see, we'll get the boost item out, pick up the Musket. It's just one of just the super high powered items at this point. I don't think we even care about getting the Trebuchet on board as much as just doing this, right? Putting the Musket in and having it shoot as fast as we can. And so that sounds decent to me. Next set, don't have the money for weapons anymore. We'll just go to the eating contest, pick up the bonuses where we can. I think I'm just going to give up on 10 health to not have to sell anything. We only have 4 slots left in our bag. Kind of is what it is. Now in here, we could look to the Dabbling Apprentice. He does have a little bit of burn stuff, but it's not something I feel like we'll ever really use. I do feel like Port is much stronger this patch. Like Port double barrel should be a thing. And if that's what you're aiming towards, then that Apprentice is a good target. But I don't think that's where our build is really heading here. And just nug him with that 200 crit. Feels pretty good. All right, gotta sell off some of this stuff. All right, what's up next? And so, interesting shot, right? We got the artisan dunes here. Do we want to really commit to like the volcanic vents, putting the burn bonuses on it, or would we be interested in maybe like switching over to trebuchet? We're getting to that point to where we haven't really hit any upgrades at this point. There was an upgrade node on like day one, and we haven't seen any since. And I'm just kind of curious in my head if we ever switch to trebuchet. It's just things like weight belt are so strong with trebuchet when you're out here multicasting 7 hastes and converting that into 14 charges on a trebuchet while still hasting all of your shit. Like it's a pretty powerful way to go. It's just my concern at this point is we don't have a ton of other like attacky ground based stuff. Now, I mean, we haven't put a ton of effort into the items we've purchased at this point, but I just have a harder time believing that we're going to be a volcanic vents build for a super long time. About to just rip it out of here. All right, let's do it. So we get to switch to being something kind of like this. Probably want the laser pistol in over the lighter, just getting the extra nugs in on the trebuchet. I think that plays out fine. We're about to level up too. We'll get some more space out here, but let's go to the dunes and put the burn on the trebuchet. Maybe we'll hit a level up node before the next round. Yeah, there we go. All right, we're in. We're going. Trebuchet time it is. Get your catapults ready. The superior siege engine, the catapult, you know. And so good stuff. Good stuff. I like where we're headed with that. Coming up next here, we can go to the Lost Crate and take the upgrade. And then I'm not going to spend it just yet. Nothing that we really need to upgrade on our board at this point. I like the way our board looks. Like we can put the lighter in, whatever. We could put the bolas in to have another weapon. And then have it all kind of tying into the trebuchet. I think this is the way we want to go. We might realistically just get more activations out of the lighter, though. So maybe we should have the lighter be our enhanced item this round, but we'll look to remove that a bit later on.
We're out to dethrone a king.
Can't imagine the trebuchet gets more activations than the lighter when we're out here with like life preserver on the board and lighter on board, just things that don't enhance the charge. Look at that fiery grenade coming at us, big chunk of health coming out, but so hard to get past that musket crit. Does an absurd amount of damage here in the early game. All right, next day. All right, next day. And so, bit of a bummer. You know, I again like Kev's Armory, but we are kind of switching over to more of a weapon build, it seems, at the moment, and then we also don't have a ton of money. So we'll just go to the docks, get that experience point off of the star chart, see what turns up next day. Aquatic items or a burn thing? Interesting. I think we want to go aquatic items. We're a little light on money in the sense that it costs $4 to roll in here, and so if we go into the aquatic and need to roll, it's just a touch expensive. But I think picking up dive weights, picking up something like mantis shrimp could be a thing, right? This is the unit I was alluding to earlier, in the sense that if you're really hammering home slow-based builds, like if you really invested in chimeras and bolas and things, you can easily get this up into the thousands of damage. And so it's a unit that I'm definitely interested in here. Also, kind of minorly combos with some of these burn things, although we're at the moment only interested in stacking one burn item, which is probably going to be trebuchet, more so than spreading the burn out, right? We have +9 to one item. We don't have +6 to every item. And so I think we can probably still just take it. Maybe speculate on it a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be our big item of the day. But now we do have more interesting things turning up. We have both the Crow's Nest and the flagship make an appearance. This is just a full build all on its own. The downside with this is we are we're both lacking in money. We could probably come up with 24 here, right? It's like 10, 13, 19, 19 plus 5. That's 24. So I think we have like a total of 30 some gold here. So we could pull these off. It's just a matter of a couple of things in the sense that our what are these called? Our skills don't tie in to things that work with flagship. Right, with flagship, you need some kind of scaling in terms of attack. You can't just have this sit on 50 attack the whole time. You need, like, when you attack, get bonus damage. When you use a vehicle, gain crit, and then tie that with swashbuckle. You need something like when you crit, get bonus attack. We don't have any of that stuff just yet. It's not to say that we can't have that turn up, but it's not quite here just yet. The other thing I'm kind of interested in is how this ties out with a depth charge. That I haven't got to use that in this patch effectively. I have used depth charge in this patch, just not effectively. That's the new ammo item to where it gets multicast for every aquatic that you have, and then it does burn, it does poison, and it does freeze. And I could see that being of use out here with the flagship in the sense that we would want to gear up the ammo with a powder flask, and then we would also have an ammo item. And so it just gets very quickly tied into working with flagship. And so maybe that could be a thing. All right, let's just fucking, go. Let's just fucking go. All right? let's sell off the stuff we want the most first. Don't want these, don't want these. Is that our 24? We need $1 more after this. Okay. And so I was going to say, we got the crow's nest. We've got... I was hoping that we would get to keep the lighter so that we would have a tool and it gives us scaling damage, and we could look at the flagship as just a way to heal. If we're gonna do this, I think we get rid of life preserver. Keep that thing. Get the flagship in. It's not super strong right now at the moment, right? But it's a good sustain item while the lighter comes in and does a bunch of work here in the early game. Ooh. All right. Build number 3 for the day. Let's fucking go. And so that sounds fine. The prince, I think we can beat. He's scary in terms of the electric eels activating and stuff, but I think he's gonna struggle to outpace our lighter. Like, this thing stacks up damage pretty reasonably. It's like, have we even gotten a flagship activation at this point? It's just here to heal. The lighter's doing all of the work. Okay. Oh, awesome. 40 health. Fucking righteous. Said no one ever. Said no one ever. Alright, whatever. So moving on, what do we got? Weapons gain crit, not super interested in. Large item burn, kind of interesting. The poison thing, don't want. I think the first flames, probably on point enough with our build to just go ahead and have that be good. It is nice here in the early game to come in and kick up the scaling with. And so I think that's fine. With this, I'll go to the Artisan of the Dunes. We're kind of lacking in money, but stacking in this damage whenever we get an opportunity onto the flagship is kind of nice. And then let's see what turns up at this last shop here. A small non-weapon item. Well, it'll at least fit. I don't feel super comfortable going to the non-weapon store and only having $3. And so maybe we spike something good. Illusory Raise a Friend. That's perfect. Just upgrade the flagship. Don't have high expectations for it, but picking up a friend is pretty on point for what we need.
You should know.
Good stuff, good stuff. Let's see if we can find another way just to sell all of our items and go into another build. Gotta hope we're okay here. Looks like a very aggressive Vanessa coming at us, but hopefully the flagship will do enough to carry through these damages. Double barrel hits coming in, healing back to full. Gotta feel pretty good about that. Oh, feeling less good. Feeling less good. Give me that other hit. There we go. We're good now. Whew. Planned it that way. Planned it. I will say the thing that worries me about going down this angle, right, if we're going to come out and try and use depth charge, is we do miss out on haste, right? I almost always put Captain's Wheel in this build, and we won't have the space for a Captain's Wheel if this is the route that we're going to take. And so we'll keep that in mind. We'll see what turns up along the way. But here, a chance to go to the docks, always taking that, feels good. Next step after it, could pick up another upgrade thing out of the Lost Crate. We're getting to the point to where bronze items don't turn up nearly as often, but if you're trying to do the thing to where you double up on items, and so if you're not familiar with what you can do, is let's say we have a I'm trying to think of the order. It's like if you show up in a shop with an item you already have, but it's like in the different rarity, you can. I'm not explaining it right. It'll come back to me eventually, but you can double up on items with the upgrade hammers, and I'm kind of curious if we want that to be a thing. But here, moving on. Not interested in any of this stuff. It's all weapons. I was coming in to look for a diving belt. Got a decent chance to find it with the ammos. Doesn't turn up. Now just a bunch of garbage across the board. We'll just take the loot and the money. Get the most money that way. And then now out of this stuff, I'm pretty certain we can beat the mod squad. Oh, crit. It does have some scaling components to it, so if you're dragging out the battle, it can be kind of scary, but I think the lighter will take him down before Bulldozer there gets too scary. No, okay, and so we have the upgrade hammer, right? We have a bronze item. We go into the shop, you find a same copy of that bronze item, and so purchasing it would give you an upgrade. What you're able to do is sell the hammer. You take the upgrade onto the item that you already have. Now they're not a pair, right? And so if we had a bronze illusory ray, and there was a bronze illusory ray in the shop, typically buying the ray out of the shop would upgrade ours. But if we would go sell off the upgrade hammer, upgrade the illusory ray, we could now buy the bronze copy. And so it gives you a way to fairly easily double up on your items on board. And so you got to kind of consider if you want to do that before chunking off all of these hammers. But not quite here. Moving on though, small and large items, sure thing. We'll see what turns up. Submarine, not today. We're not doing submarine builds today. Don't really want any of this other stuff. I guess the jellyfish is probably better than the illusory ray, just in terms of having a friend on board and doing something relevant in the game. And so we can pick that up on the next page. Nothing too interesting though. Looking for ammo flask. That's the big tool that we're going to be looking to find. And then the depth charge. That's going to be the main points here. All right, rolling on though. Not too interested in weapons, so we'll take the guaranteed hit and the damage boost for our flagship. And then up against Vanessa. Let's get this jellyfish down here next to the flagship. Make sure it can get some of those haste activations.
But I've seen my share of stores.
Let's boom him. See how it does. See how it does against the old pizza kebab here. What's he got? Ooh, very, very aggressive cutlass coming at us. It's not the burn cutlass, and so I feel a little bit better about the round. He doesn't have any scaling either, so it seems like we should take this down pretty easy. As those crits come in and make me regret my words. Makes me regret them quick. This shit. Oh shit, we dropped down super low. Need that burn to do its thing. Okay. Whew, that's close. That temporary boost of damage came in to do a mountain of work. Right, good stuff. Alright, so what we got? Oh, what a bummer of a round, man. The upgrade turns up with the tool shop. We really need to hit up that tool shop to find the ammo flask, but kind of is what it is. I think we've got to take the upgrade. I typically lean towards upgrading crow's nests. I think that the 20% crit is more important than getting the plus 20 damage that you would get onto flagship. And so that's the one that we'll take at this moment. So that's good.
Now this will inspire the
What's up next? Upgrade a smaller one? Well, shit, let's just get them all, I guess.
Ooh, the keener the blade, the quicker the fight.
All right, that feels good. What's up next? Small item shop. Sure thing. See what turns up. In my old age, I find it hard to go to the the RNG shop in the middle, and so we'll pass on it. After that, silencer could be okay. I'm not, really keen on this star chart at the moment, and so it gives us something that we could potentially put on board
I think that suits you.
in place of the star chart. So we'll pick that up with that potentially in mind. Skip this other stuff. Oh, did we mess up the crypto? I saw the crypto was at 8 and I wanted to sell it. Yeah. And so we can just get rid of that. All right, with these dum-dums, the Infernal, I'm not entirely certain that we can beat. He does a huge quick burst of damage. And without any haste and stuff, I'm not certain that the flagship can carry us through the initial burst damage to survive the round. I know, like, we're definitely not killing him fast. So maybe we just fight the foreman, or I mean, what's our cooldown at with the silencer on board? Could switch up our build to look like this. 5.6 seconds. Maybe it's not that bad, right? A lot of his damage is up front. He throws those fire bombs at you, and so it's like once you survive the initial hit of the fire bombs, you tend to be okay. And so maybe we can do this. Got a decent chunk in. Here's the first hit on the scary item. Got to see if we can sustain through and then have the burn get to finish. Very close. Very close. Nice. I mean, I knew we had it the whole time. I planned everything out perfectly. I did the mathematics, and oh shit, are we going to the memes now? It's only appropriate in the sense that we've been hammering home the burn stuff. And then the great sword turns up, and so, interesting. Call up the meme police because Busta's Busta's on the way in. Right, we can just drop this thing in, get that juicy lifesteal up on it. You can get a captain's wheel here in the middle. Who needs the new items, right? Why do you got to pay to win when the Infernal Greatsword turns up? And so, let's see how this progresses from here. I'm not entirely sold on this being a thing. Excuse me. And so, moving on, I do like Submersible. We're definitely not at the point to use it. You have to have scaling attack for this thing to work, and we're not there. Definitely don't want Torpedo. Let's see if there's any other good gold stuff out here. Crow's Nest upgrade. Can we afford it? Is this how we... Oh, God. This is where the decision of the day comes in, huh? If we want to take the Crow's Nest upgrade, then we're going to have to just say sell off the flagship or sell off the greatsword. Well, it's really tough for me to pass up on the memery here, and so... Let's see. Let's just fucking drop the greatsword, I guess. Give me that Crow's Nest upgrade. Drop these monster crits on our opponent. Alright. Let's see. It would be nice to get like a little bit more burn up and running with these, in the sense that, this greatsword hit isn't doing a lot on that first round of sustain, that first round of heal. So we'll see what we can come up with there. Alright, though, up next, really lacking in the money, got to take the chocolate bars. This next set, gonna go into gold tier skills, still like these across the board. Oh, big stuff. This would, if we were sticking with the flagship, we would definitely want tempering, right? This is just the exact kind of thing that you have to find with it, but left-handed will be perfect here as well. Give us a nice little boost right out the gates on our Infernal Greatsword. Definitely glad to have that happen. So let's sell off all these chocolate bars. We don't need the jellyfish anymore, right? We were basically using it just for the friend tag. Now that it's not needed, we can bring the star chart back in. I will upgrade the star chart at this point to get the extra cooldown reduction on our greatsword. Now let's come out here and just fuck them up, right? That's all that's possible. That's all that can happen. Whew. Getting our pay-to-win greatsword out here. Feels fucking nice. Look at this guy trying to do our build. We say, nah, man. Check this. Check this. 62 heal. Ooh, that's such a low number. Oh, come on, Burns. Fuck.
You
Okay.
fall like a
Yeah,
ball.
we gotta get the haste out here.
Flow.
I'll feel good about it if we get the haste. Expecting the sustain out of the 62 damage at the start. Ugh. Alright, we'll be fine. But let's move on. Lacking in dollars. Oh, there's the dive weights, right? We were talking about this earlier. If you're not familiar with it, it's multicast equal to its ammo, and then drops a bunch of hastes. And so, don't think it's really going to fit in the build anymore, but powerful thing to watch out for. Up next, let's hit up the docks. Still lacking in money. Definitely want experience points. Gotta like that. End of the next page. We should be able to beat all of these. Nothing really hits in terms of skills, so we'll take the extra EXPs out of the turtle. He'll be dropping slows on our big-ass weapon, bro. Do not appreciate that. Alright, we got 150 burns doing the thing. Second hit, that's the big killer, the KO. 500 burn definitely ticks down.
Was that even a battle? Maybe a skirmish.
All right. So what's up next? What do we got? Just keep going with the loot items. It's probably all that's really going to matter at this point. See if we can't pick up a bit of cooldown reduction or minor bonuses after that. So moving on, let's go with relax. I feel like, you know, with the sustain lost, it's going to be nice having access to that so that we can, you know, I feel like we should just be like murdering Pygmalions out here, right? He should be so slow that the great sword gets just big takedowns all the time. It's the Vanessas that are the problems, and so if we can survive the early game, this should be okay. So that looks good. Let's go to the aquatic items now. We want to find Captain's Wheel. Doesn't turn up on the first page. Doesn't turn on the second. This game's fucking rigged.
You don't want the
And then let's see what we can do
or the
up against a Vanessa. Anything to sell in here? Nope. Alright, great sword. Do your thing.
We're out to dethrone a king.
See if
not
these
to
shields make or
no
break
one.
the day for
My
us.
fight isn't with you.
Looks like we got a poison Vanessa this time. I think we should be okay. He's kind of half-assing with what we're facing here, right? Where's all of our fucking shields at? Did we not? Is the round just bugged? Did we not go in with like the 700 shield?
Like my crew says at the bar, another
Interesting.
round.
I want my $10 back. All right, we got him. We got him good. GG, well played, friend. All right, so what's up next? Go into the non-weapon items. I think we got the money for it, and finding suppressor would be fine. We want to find Captain's Wheel. Kind of find this stuff in here. Now, this is something that has really interested me with this patch. If anyone that played the Legends of Runeterra still follows, like, this is what I had to double check to make sure that they didn't just fucking steal the art. But here, let me pull it up. Hang on. Right, and so there were all these deep units. I was thinking a Devourer of the Depths, right? Can you get this pulled up on here? Oh, Vivo's doing okay. Vivo did the runeterra.ar site. But, like, this thing popped up, and then, you know, we were looking at the at the anglerfish from the Bazaar, and I guess this is just a thing, right, to where that animal, whatever, is that a mythical creature or something? I don't fucking know. But, like, this guy kept turning up, this anglerfish, and then I kept thinking back to the Devourer of the Depths, being like, that seems extremely similar to me. Maybe maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But I kept going back to the old LOR days. I had to double check. I guess, you know, the color scheme is different at the colors of the mouth and the shit coming out of it, but I don't know. Made me feel very similar. Then I was curious if Six More Vodka was doing the art for this game. I'm not certain what happened to that team. It seemed like they had some kind of problem with COVID or some shit. I don't quite remember, but I think Six More Vodka was the art company that was doing most of, if not all of the LOR art. And then it seems like after a certain set, they just weren't there anymore. And so I could be wrong on that. That could have been fake news from 3 or 4 years ago, but moving on, moving forward, moving up. So what do we got? Nothing in here. Again, we're looking for very specific items at this point. Captain's Wheel and Silencer didn't turn up within here. Is what it is. Moving forward, skill upgrades aren't going to be great, right? They're very expensive at this point. So trying to upgrade Immolating Spark left-handed, can't really afford. Real Shielding and First Flames I don't really want anyways. So let's just go to the small shop. Maybe the thing will turn up. On the first page. Could still just take Powder Flask in case. If we do want to switch to a ammo-based item, having that will be important. So add that into the mix. And now moving in here, I can never remember with the Infernal Frigate if it's going to do anything useful. Let me get this pulled up as well. All these burn rounds are so similar. Monsters. Infernal Frigate. Firestarter would be whatever. Trebuchet don't want. Pop Snappers is whatever. So it's not a spectacular round. I'm just going to go to the Wandering Shoal. Take the guaranteed experience point. Do you do anything cool when you slow charge an item for 1 second? Maybe do something if that turns up. It would be like such a powerful build around if you're able to find it on, say, like day 5, right? Finding it on day 9, day 10 is a bit of a stretch.
Waste of
Amber. Boo. Alright, so what's up next? I guess Radiant is going to be okay. You know, dropping Radiant on the Infernal Greatsword to make sure it doesn't get frozen or anything. Like, typically, if you're in these single item builds, it's fairly important to do that kind of thing, right? Adding Fiery to the Greatsword doesn't do a ton, right? It's just still going to kill in 2 hits anyways, but keeping it from getting that second hit is what the real pain point is. And so I think Radiant will be okay. Don't need to try and roll the dice for something big. I do think that Sustain is where we're, struggling here. We may not realistically even want to be chasing after Captain's Wheel to make this go faster as opposed to just something make us live a little bit longer, but I think I still like the path. Moving on though, let's take the skills. What do we got here? Flurry of Blows sounds fucking insane. The first 8 times you use a weapon, it goes the other way. When you use a weapon, charge backwards. How close can we even get to this kind of thing? Don't want the fish. 12 gold goes a long way. We can get there if we want to, but it's like paying basically 40 gold for 2 activations of the lighter. I don't think I'm too interested in that. Let's take a roll. Much more interested in left-handed. Right? Oh, it's only 10 at this point? Does like the upgrade shop? This is bullshit. I think I'll just take the First Flames. I mean, it's cheaper. Ugh. This is what it is. Alright, next round. And so what do we want to do with this? The temporary boost, I guess it's still okay. Getting that first hit in and dealing, 80-some burn. I mean, I guess it's relevant if we're fighting Pig or something. Kev's Armory, we're a little bit light on the money at this point. If we're spending double dollars on like a gold item, it'd be kind of tough to pick up. Alright, let's see what we can do. Opponents on day 10 as well, or level 10 as well, so they're gonna have their skill. Looks like he's doing burn things. See if the little burn things can match up to the big burn thing, Oh shit, he's got the Obsidian Powder Keg. I had a run with it the other day. I wish I would record it. I think this is a very real build, this game. Not even necessarily hitting Obsidian on it. Hitting Obsidian on the Powder Keg is pretty fucking nutty. That was what I did. But it's a real item in terms of just going for these big burn heavy builds. It does like 80% of the damage and then does 40 doubled to 80, and then your other burn stuff just cleans up the rest of the way. Very powerful. Alright, so what's up? Don't need the weapons. We'll just go to the Sharpening Stone. Cast Enhance on our Greatsword. What's up next? Burn items? I mean, I guess we can see what turns up. I want to get rid of this star chart. This is just our pain point here. None of these really work at this point. Do we ever use something like Nesting Doll? It it does help us get that like little bit of sustain, and then it does help us put a little bit of burn down for the greatsword. But I mean, if we're gonna be real, it's fairly shitty at this stage of the game. It does get the bonus off of the rear shielding. It's very important for these nesting dolls, but shielding like 28, 27, 26, 25, like it's not particularly big numbers. Let's take the roll. Nothing immediately turns up. Don't think we want the spyglass. I don't think we could even really afford it if we did. Alright, bummer. Didn't roll high enough. Now here, these opponents are kind of scary. How fast does Pharaoh's Khan hit? I don't think we can beat him. He does like 3,200 damage off of his sniper rifle. And so you can go into this round and decide, okay, well, I'm either going to win 70-30 because he has 30% crit if you're above that 3,200 health. But needing to hit him twice, I know we can't hit him twice before the sniper rifle hits once. So we'll skip past that. Don't need anything from the Blood Reef Captain. We already have our Diamond Crow's Nest, so we'll just take the experience points. Bum it out. What's this thing do? When you heal, charge a shield item, whatever. Wouldn't hate landing Tropical Island. Just give us the hit points and the sustain for that second greatsword hit. Get boomed. Landed the thing. When you heal, charge a shield item. I don't know if lifesteal counts towards that. At any rate, moving on, I'm going to go to the Vanessa skills. You could go to freeze and try and find when you burn freeze. Like, that wouldn't be terrible, but thinking towards the long game, I'd like to get Oceanic Rush. So ideally, we'll have that Captain's Wheel. The Oceanic Rush will immediately haste it at the start of the battle. Then the wheel will quickly haste our Greatsword from that point forward. And so that's the idea of what we want to hit with this. Doesn't do anything at the moment, but if we can find our item, then we'll be good to go. With these dum-dums, let's just go to the medium items. Maybe it'll turn up. This hastes non-weapon items, right? Yeah, the Astrolabe, got to skip past that. These other items suck. Swashbuckle, like, I don't hate, but I don't think that we really want. Again, this is like not a ton of difference between like adding damage to the greatsword, but when we do come in and add 150 damage to it up front, and it gets that initial burn for 200, that is a exceptionally significant amount of damage. So maybe I can convince myself that Swashbuckle's okay.
And I'll trot it to your door.
We still have a little bit of that cooldown reduction coming from the silencer. Now with this, let's go to Pearl's dig site. Hopefully we can just make a bunch of money, find a diamond item fairly quick. First page kind of sucks. We could make 4 gold. Let's just take a roll, try for better. Gold boulders, probably kind of close. 16 for Arbalest, 12 for boulder, 16 for diamond oven mitts. Okay, we'll take the 16.
Magnificent find.
I should have read oven mitts, right? We don't do enough burn for the oven mitts to be good. As someone trying to meme, you should know you should know the memes a little better, right? Haste for a bit, shield for a bit when you burn charge. What's the cooldown on it? 7 seconds. It's probably better than Star Chart, worse than Swashbuckle, and then worse, or better than Star Chart, probably worse than Swashbuckle. Maybe it's kind of even to Swashbuckle, and then worse than Captain's Wheel. Probably fairly close. Alright, up against Dooley. Should we be scared at this point? Look at this. This is the kind of thing that always scares me going into these rounds. Like, I'm not entirely certain how accurate this screen is. I know we go against a lot of opponents in the early game to where it'll say your opponent's on level 3, but they don't have enough items, right? And so it seems to be inaccurate. But this is always one of the scary moments for me as we're getting towards the end of the game. The opponent is on, day 9 with 3 wins and level 10. And so his levels aren't that bad. A little behind, but not terrible. But at only 3 wins, he like tanked hard early and then had to just pick it up at the end, right? And so you typically run into opponents like this and they've got something just fucking obnoxious on the board. So maybe, hopefully this will just be like an isochoric freezer kind of guy and we're just going to smoke him with the greatsword. Doing some race Carl shenanigans with a turbo friendly core. gosh, our sword swing's so slow now. Got 400 burn on him, though. Is the 400 burn just enough? It's kind of like getting in one of those initial hits with a flamethrower. I don't know. I don't like how long that round took. That took fucking forever. I guess the other thing we need to consider, we've been sticking with this lighter, but we might have a space to want like a mantis shrimp, right? That was the ammo shrimp from earlier. Just in the sense that if we're going to be hitting these things with swashbuckle, getting the, well, it doesn't burn equal to its damage, so maybe that's not accurate. All right, moving on. We'll fight the bounty hunters. Take the experience points. Should be a pretty easy battle. Always love me some experience points. Yeah, look at this great sword just being fucking slow. Just fucking slow. Alright, what's up? Don't think we need the ammos. We'll just take the gold tier loot item. And wanna find some cooldown reduction if we can. Burn thing. Alright, well I guess it's at least on theme. You have to get the burn thing and just go, okay. But hit up Barkham here.
Welcome to my business.
No medium items we want. I do enjoy a dam. It's also kind of double interesting with the Radiant, but we're so far away from this being a build. This was like my kind of, in the previous patch, I thought was exceptionally good. It didn't really get enough credit. The only thing that could consistently beat the dam was the fixer-upper builds, and the fixer-upper builds didn't turn up nearly as much in the last patch as the previous one. But one of the kind of interesting things with items like dam and like boulder is, since everything got bonked, when you bonk a double barrel from 3 seconds to 4 seconds, that's a 33% increase in the amount of time it takes to activate, right? That full 1 second has much more impact on the 3 to 4 than it does with dam going from 24 to 25, right? That upgrade for dam is like, what is 10% of 25? Like 2.5? And so half of 10% would be like 1 point something, and so it's like a sub 5% change to the dam, only getting that 1 second tick instead of the full 33% for something like double barrel. And so these larger items were affected less, and so I'm curious if there isn't a place for dam to like really come in and pop off this patch, but this build is nowhere near ready to use it.
Oh, okay. Maybe next time.
Probably should have sold some stuff, right? We got the bonus money for the smalls there. Oops. Got excited with story time. All right, moving on though. No exciting opponents. We'll just take the experience points off the Volkos Enforcer here. Nice try trying to freeze our greatsword. Well attempted, my friend. Nice try, well attempted. Here comes the burn. He should just be pretty fucked at this point. Should be a pretty easy round. Dropping burns, or dropping freezes all over the stuff that just doesn't matter. Appreciate it.
Target threat level 8.
Target threat level 8. Perfect. All right. So what's up next? We can look towards the items, I think. Again, I'm not super excited about the jewels boost at this point. Here's the mantis shrimp, right? The swashbuckle's not going to affect it. It's just burn 2. It's not burn 10% of your damage. And so that's not going to be what we're looking for. Next set, don't want any of these dum-dums. Get this musket turning up. You remember when we had a musket on like day 3 and then sold it? Just, it won't go away. It won't go away. All right, let's go to Midsworth. Let's see if we can't find a suppressor upgrade, silencer upgrade, whatever this thing is called. Missed on the first page. Missed on the second. Let's at least sell the medium item thing here. Again, like, I guess it's only 4 gold to upgrade the dive weights. I don't envision us ever using that, but it doesn't hurt to upgrade it. All right, here's our upgrade an item, and this is kind of interesting, right? Would we prefer to upgrade the silencer? Like, I mean, I don't hate just keeping swashbuckle forever, I guess. We're about to finish off day 10. It's very realistic to say that we never find the weapon we want ever again. And I guess the other point of note here is you get bonus damage on the silencer, right? it goes from silver, it goes up plus 10, and then from gold to max, it goes up plus 50, and then that'll convert to direct damage onto the greatsword, since it deals damage, or it deals burn equal to the damage. And so it's like, as we upgrade Swashbuckle, it's going to put an extra 25 damage on the greatsword, but if we upgrade the silencer, it's going to give it plus 10 and some CDR. I think we just take the upgrade at this point on the silencer.
The keener the blade, the quicker the fight.
Alright, anything to sell? So let's drop the cinders. We'll keep it on the lighter. It should be activating quicker. And this other stuff, whatever. Okay, let's fuck them up.
You should know, I'm a bit of a legend on Pelago. We're out to dethrone a king, not to
Okay, okay, what can we do? He's got a big lifesteal item in the middle. Flagship bro coming at us again. Everybody's doing all the same stuff out here. It's gotta feel better this round, right? Really hammering in the work with the burn this time. Are we gonna need one more hit? Come on.
Bring her
Got
about.
it.
I've got another
Oof.
salvo with me.
Whew, that's close. Good job, team. I was about to get sad, and then I got happy. So, I mean, I knew we had it the whole time. All right, so what's up? Don't need. Well, I'd take chocolate bars if we had to, but you know, trying to find one of these upgrades seems decent. Didn't find it on the first shop. 2 small items, missed it on the second as well.
If you want
Bummer.
something big and ugly, go see Paul.
What's up next? Non-weapon items? Sure. Got plenty of upgradable stuff out here. Depth charge is what I was talking about earlier, right? There's some potential to build around this with the flagship. So we have the tool and something to keep this going. So the ammo flask would be the main one, right? What's this thing called? Ammo flask? Powder flask would be the tool. And then that's going to keep fueling the ammo on the depth charge. And then we're just hitting around waiting on the depth charge to pop off while the flagship keeps us sustained, right? We fought flagship twice. We had it a couple of rounds. You can see how good it is at keeping you at max health. And so you should ideally grind your opponent down a little bit. The depth charge pops, freezes like half their board, and then gives you the time to heal again while it gives you the time for the depth charge. Like, just letting those cycles happen seems like it should be a thing. But way beyond that today. Nothing else here on the second page. Alright, what's up next? Boss Harrow has the interesting skill, or the Lord of the Wastes for the EXPs. What happens here? We should still level up with the Boss Harrow, right? We get 1, 2, 3, 4 experience plus 2, 6. We only need 5 to level up, so even if I messed it up by 1, we should be close. It's just so hard to actually hit the it's just so hard to actually hit the skill that he has, the assault focus. But I guess it is like little interesting with Foreboding Winds that when any player uses an item, you get the crit chance, which you typically don't want to use with Crow's Nest, right? You're so close to 100% crit anyways, it just helps your opponent more than you. But it switches back to being interesting when you have Swashbuckle on board, since whenever your opponent uses an item, it's going to increase the damage that our greatsword deals. So we missed, is what it is. A bit of whatever, but let's move on and move up. What's next? Your tool gets multicast. I don't hate it. Just gives us, you know, a nice quick upgrade. If we get 2 activations on the lighter before the greatsword hits, doubled with the retooled, it should be, you know, roughly 60 burn before the greatsword hits. Then the greatsword hits for 500 burn right out the gates. That's not bad. Improvised burn I'm not super interested in. We're not dealing enough crits for this thing to be relevant. I think the retooled could be okay. Just give us those opportunities to win without needing the second greatsword hit. So that looks good. Otherwise, a bunch of garbage on this one. Let's go to Kev's Armory. See if we spike any shield upgrades. Nothing on the first page. Ooh, shielded lighter. That's what it's all about, huh? We got our sustain now. We got this thing giving us 400 shield on activation. Fucking righteous. Say your blessings to RN Jesus out here. Gotta like that. Okay. So moving on, moving up. guess we'll go to the medium shop. We can still look for
All about moderation.
the another swashbuckler, look for a
You leave it behind. Someone
captain's
else
wheel.
finds it. It
Doesn't
all
land,
works
but
out.
man, what a land on that lighter.
My fight isn't with
Give
you.
me all the shields. Just need that little bit of extra boost. So the
You should know
retooled directly
I'm a
into shield.
legend on Pelago.
That is pretty nice. It's gonna be a big slow opponent. Oh, doing a bunch of freeze bullshit. I don't know what to think about this. He can't freeze. He can only freeze one of our items, and so so maybe we just actually accidentally countered this guy, right? Oh no, the club. Oh fuck, we still got it. We got it at 20 health. Fucking righteous. I didn't think this stuff could be frozen. I didn't think you could freeze a swashbuckler or freeze a silencer, and so I thought the only target he was going to have to freeze was the lighter. But whatever he did came in and froze everything. And then we just said fuck you and killed him at 30 health. LOL. That's what it's about right there. Trying to bring in the memes, but you hit the memer. Nice. All right, let's see if we can't make this the final day. And so, let's kick it off with the non-weapon items. We got a ton of money. We do have the $40 on this bar of gold we won a couple of rounds ago. So no upgrades on the first page. No upgrades on the second. Swashbuckle, looking for silencer, looking for captain's wheel. Maybe we can find it in the Nautica here.
I have so much new stuff.
Can find the
to show.
captain's wheel out of this. Tropical Island turns up though. I'm usually pretty okay to pick these up. It's a bit awkward here in the sense that we're ideally on the last day, so it's not going to give us a ton of upgrades, but I think we have enough money to just drop it and not worry about it too much. So that's coming in fine. We can fight Trash Titan. Assuming that this is the last day that we play, we don't need the extra experience points out of the Veteran Octopus, so we'll go to the Trash Titan. We try to hit Juggler, right? When you use a small item, charge a large item, so when we use our lighter, gonna get the charge onto the Greatsword. Okay. Let's see if Aryan Jesus proposes any blessings. Oh, fucking righteous. You say your blessings. That's where the pay to win comes in, is they know that we got it. Now, one of the things that's going to be an interesting aspect of paying to win is if you watched us play the Legends of Runeterra, that's where we really cut our teeth in terms of content creation and stuff. It was so hard to spend money in Legends of Runeterra that I forced myself to spend money every day, in the sense that I would turn an item premium. And the thing with turning your items premium is it didn't have any effect on the game, except it made your units and stuff feel better. You know, if you're getting ready to go out on a hot date and you got your fresh outfit on, you shaved, you took a shower and all that shit that us nerds don't normally do, and you're feeling good, you're looking good, you know things are about to go good, you don't have to worry about your outfit anymore. You can just focus on the date. And that's how it felt when all of your items were premium, right? And so maybe that's what we really unlocked by paying for the expansion, is we got to come out here, make our stuff as premium as it can get, and now Reynad's blessing us with some extra RNG straight out of the codes. All right, so what we can do, take that shield boost right before the battle. See if that can't buy us that little bit of time we need to get the W. It's another flagship. What's this guy doing? Yeah, flagshipping. Okay. Gotta feel good, right? Oh, that activation is so fast now with the single hit from the jugular. Oh, and we still get fucking smoked? Jesus, he just like OTK'd us with that flagship hit. I guess it was all crits. He did basically the full amount of damage in one shot. He does have... I hit continue instead of the other button, but he did have the when your opponent falls under 50% health, your items get half the cooldown, and I think that's what really came in and smoked us at the end. But all right, what are we gonna do here? Not too interested in heavy. We don't have any items that it's gonna be particularly strong on. I think we want to upgrade the swashbuckle. That's such a weird one in terms of enchantments. It's only got a couple of options. And so this probably just has the chance to just be super insane, right? We either get double damage from shiny, we either get double crit, which is way more than double damage in this case, or radiant, which is just suck. And so we just have a 66% chance to go fucking ham, and then 33% chance to go, well, I guess we already rolled high enough this game, right? And so let's see, what does the artist present? It looks shiny.
This is why I wear red.
It's shiny and radiant look so similar. I'm gonna have to actually pull up the item. Shiny, fucking righteous. And so I guess the smarter people in the world just looked at the greatsword over here, but nice, right? This has double damage, shield, and heal bonus. So what's that? Just an extra 25 damage? Not as exciting as I wanted it to be, but it's not terrible by any means. Alright. So moving on, moving up. What else we got out here? Nothing too interesting. Just getting aced by all these flagships. I don't want to see that guy anymore. Say, fuck you, buddy. Now here, I'm just going to take the guaranteed hits. We'll take skill upgrades. We either got 20 gold for 10 damage or 5 for the shield. Let's just take the damage. We got plenty of money, I think. Now, no real need to fight Trash Titan. We already got the one thing that you would want out of Juggler. So we'll just go to the Lord of the Wastes. I wonder if there's ever a world to where we should have just, like, cut Swashbuckle in an effort to put more small items on board. I don't know. Like, we just nuked this guy. We only needed one hit from our big weapon. I don't know. Alright, what have we got now? Upgrades. We just want to drop the upgrade on the Swashbuckle, right? We're going to get, like, plus 50 damage out of it. We went from 307 to 357. Thought I had some rap lyrics coming to head, but I can't. I thought 357, that's the gun thing, rap lyrics, and then I just went, yeah, you don't stop. It's 187. Doing your ice cubes out here. But what do we got? Oh, is this the big one? When you destroy an item during combat, your weapons gain the bonus. Oh, this isn't the actual destroyer, right? Destroying items is spectacularly good when we have this Radiant Greatsword on board. That's not going to do it, though. Large item haste, don't care about. Reloads, doesn't do anything. Let's take a roll. This is freeze non-weapon, right? At the start of each fight, freeze all non-weapon items for 2 seconds. Is that worth? And so it freezes the lighter, which is kind of shit, but doesn't freeze the greatsword. I'm just gonna take the regen. 40 regen's a fairly big number. And I'm just not convinced that's going to do it. As we roll out here against Pig, he's going to say, "LOL, here's the fixer upper. Should have taken the freeze." Fuck. I gotta think we should still be okay against Pig. Like, if he's going to be fixer uppering, which it doesn't look like he is, we should be okay. Coming at us with an addle-addle. That's going to be scary, isn't it? Here's our first hit. Huge burns coming in. CF heal. Oh, he had heal on his yo-yo. Bummer. Alright. Well, sad day. Didn't get the full 10 wins. Still got the silver victory along the way, and a pretty fun battle along the way. And so, you know, with this build in general, it kind of is what it is. You can't really play the game designed to get the Infernal Greatsword. It's just so rare for it to actually turn up. And so we didn't do a ton to actually come out and make this thing maximum effective as we could. Just not really possible to do. Again, like, I think maybe the thing that we should have looked to have done is when we did actually spike Juggler, look to replace Swashbuckle with small items. And then if we have, say, like a quick activator like Pop Snappers and a quick activator like what's it called? Say like throwing knives, whatever they're called. You don't care about the damage, you just care that it activates fast. That might have been the way to come in and try and tackle this game to get that finale of a hit in. but because so much of our build is tied into just having the greatsword hit twice. All right, we were able to survive some of these rounds when the greatsword just hit once, and that 700 burn was enough to kill the opponent. But I think the safe place to be in, the safe thought that we should have across all of these games is the greatsword needs to hit twice, and we didn't really do everything that we could to maximize that happening. And so I think at the end of the day, we did give kind of maximum effort to finding Captain's Wheel. We didn't have Captain's Wheel turn up the entire game. We had the combo right with the Oceanic Rush, and then ideally the Captain's Wheel's on board. You immediately rush the Captain's Wheel. The Captain's Wheel puts the haste down essentially immediately on the Infernal Greatsword. That's our way to really get this up and running twice. But we didn't have Captain's Wheel turn up. We got 0 cooldown reduction throughout the course of the whole run. And then we didn't take advantage of our juggler there. And so a bit of down RNG and a high RNG game. I don't think we get the ability to complain about RNG this game, but some of the key items we were looking for didn't turn up. And then again, I'm not certain if we should have just pushed away from the swashbuckle and really gone all in on activating this greatsword twice. That's probably the angle that we should have taken. But outside of that, a real kind of like hodgepodge of things that we were aiming for here. We did get to talk about a handful of the new items and ways to potentially take advantage of them. We had a lot of different paths that those things could have gone down, looking for mantises, looking for primordial depth charges, trying to tie that stuff in with merchant ship or flagship, and then having access to like trebuchet with the burn bonus and the new haste items. Like, there's a lot of interesting things that could have happened in this game, and I'm really looking forward to what the rest of this patch takes us down in terms of what we're able to present there. And so, hopefully you got some good ideas, some good concepts out of this run. You got some good memes out of the Infernal Greatsword. You didn't get your feels hurt too hard with my thoughts on paying to win. And if you're in Brazil, I hope you're having a good time out there. I miss the Brazilians from the Legends of Runeterra. There was such a large crowd of Brazilians from LOR, and I don't know what's happened to them since LOR kind of broke. But nonetheless, good stuff. I had fun with that. Hope you did too, because that's going to do it for us today. So if everyone enjoyed the video, hope you learned a thing or two along the way, and you had a good time watching. This is Bustin' Me. Thank you for being here.